What is going on, people? We just went into maintenance, so I figured I'll go ahead and upload this video now. That way you guys have some sort of entertainment while this is going on. And this is going to be for Chalice. As far as the actual Chalice, we didn't really have much competition, so it was an easy first, second, and third. But IGG made a huge mistake when they made a big change of how Chalice and everything else was going to be ran. And as you can see here, we're rallying this person here from TAO, and the biggest change that IGG implemented, which was obviously a huge mistake because now they are reverting it back. What they did was that for some reason they made it to where if your leader is captured during this event, it's released in 5 minutes, no matter what. And I don't mean in the fort. I also mean if you send your leader to somebody else, like you're one-trooping them, giving them your leader for like a boost or whatever, you're gonna get it back in 5 minutes. If you're rallying somebody and you get capped, you're gonna get your leader back in 5 minutes. Obviously, that sounds pretty insane, right? Because, well, it is. Think about it like this, right? If you have a bunch of really strong accounts and you can just rally and alternate between two really strong accounts, because okay, you do a 5-minute rally, you get capped, then you do another 5-minute rallies, the other one gets capped, but by the time he gets capped, your hero's walking back so you can rally again, and it's just an endless cycle. That's not really what the game is really meant to be. There is obviously bunnies, but this is like you don't even have to worry about bunnies. When the event ends, you get your leader back. Like, there was literally little to no drawback as how this was actually being played. So we took full advantage of it because you send a rally out, you get capped, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't really know what they were thinking, or maybe they just completely overlooked it, and what they were really trying to go for was going for that same thing but only applicable in a fort. Like, if it's only applicable in a fort, then I guess I can understand it, but in castles, that would be a terrible mistake, because then the bigger guilds, like the bigger families, etc., they don't even need to go and actually do the event. All they gotta do is just go in there with enough rallies and then just zero everybody else in the other side, zero their fillers, and then they're screwed. So wow, I could not believe that was their actual gear. I honestly thought, looking at this person's gear, Serm MS, I honestly thought that was like some sort of speed gear or something, until they started taking the rallies in that gear. I'm sorry, but M and S, or whatever that guild is, you had to like at least try to help this person out a little bit with that gear, because that gear at that might is just ridiculous. How do you let this person keep that gear on? I don't know. Like, this is why a lot of times it's good to kind of keep an eye out on what your guildmates are sending, what gear they're using, etc. Not because you always want to be that one person, and you know exactly what I mean, that one person that's telling everybody what to do and how to do it and all of that, but at least to catch things like this, because there is no way that somebody saw that gear and thought, yeah, just go ahead and stick with that gear. There's no way. They did that person a disservice. I mean, they did a disservice to themselves, but a little bit of help would have been really helpful, honestly. I completely missed the rally hitting here from Sully, but we got 8.3, which was a really good hit. But honestly, I feel bad for the person, because I just felt like we were just hitting somebody that was completely clueless to what they were doing, and they were taking it in cavalry. Like, it was just bad on top of bad. Like, guys, if you have guildmates that you might think that maybe they need a little bit of guidance, help them out, because that was just, I literally felt bad for that person, because oh my god, that gear was just insane. Now this one right here, KPB Winloken, actually had pretty decent gear. Had some little bit of champ, some mythic, some gold, some cups. So very nice account. The only issue there is that, again, we have little to no drawback as far as rallying it over and over, and they are pretty low might. So It was only a matter of time, and all of these accounts, we were catching them while they were in Fury. So regardless of anything, even if you capped us, etc., you had to take at least 2 waves. So it's just not really how the game was meant to be played. And even though when Bunny was introduced, it kind of made it like this, but at least Bunny has a pretty long cooldown, and Bunny actually costs, you know, generally a little over 100,000 gems. Like, I know that a lot of people just think, oh, just Bunny every day, but I mean, you know, it is about 100,000 gems every day, actually a little bit more. So, you know, at least there is a price to pay for Bunny. But here, what are you paying? A 5-minute stay at somebody else's castle? That's just ridiculous. So yeah, Chalice just came down to it just became a rally party. Chalice, nobody even cared about Chalice because we actually had a couple of guilds that might have failed and might have sent rallies our way, but because everything switched when we started rallying all their fillers, and their fillers noticed, okay, I can't get in Fury because then I'm gonna eat 2 waves for nothing because I can't even cap their leaders. They started not going into Fury. And then everybody else was just like, all right, we're not going to play this game. Everybody started leaving, and the fun was pretty much over. But again, look at this rally right here. This is not a rally that we would have normally sent because it was just pretty much us. And we were just sending just to send because well, if we get capped, we're going to get it back in 5 minutes. It doesn't matter. So I'm so glad that they actually sent a mail today that they were going to go ahead and change this feature, because this would have been absolutely abused by a lot of families, especially guilds like LH that can go in there and just fire up 20 rallies. Like, eventually you're just going to run out of fillers, so they would have had absolutely no competition. So yeah, now we actually go ahead and hit there. We were running out of carpets because we were rallying so much that we were just running out of carpets. And I mean, Sully still did decent damage, 4.7, so that means we killed about 2.5, give or take. So it looks like they probably countered us. And then since Sully was capped, it was time for me to go ahead and rally it myself. I did get the scout, and I was taking a look at the scout, and I'm like, okay, T4, T5, it's okay, but like, it don't really have much. And the T2 is kind of low on imp, so we're going to go ahead and load up a range, which was kind of like a gamble, but I was like, okay, we're going to take this gamble, we're going to go range. They are in calf gear for whatever reason, I mean, I don't know why, but they were in calf gear, so I went ahead, sent range, and hope for the best. And they, first of all, they ported. Okay, so I'm thinking they ported, but we gotta walk back. And I'm like, wait, we gotta walk back, and we got a significant walk back. There's a lot of people walking back, and look at that. 6.7 dead. Took it in cavalry wedge, which is probably the worst one to take it in. I don't understand what these people were doing. Some people are... He definitely had time to at least change formation. Also, the number of troops that I got wounded exceeded my infirmary, so I had to get him out of the damn sanctuary. But it was worth. It was worth, because look at those kills. Very, very nice indeed. But like I mentioned, after that, everybody stopped going into Fury, and they were like, yeah, we're dipping here. So we had a little fun. But now IGG is going to change it, so it's not going to be like that anymore. But it was for sure fun. But I'm glad that it's not going to stay like this, because first of all, it's just not fair. It's just not fair. And second of all, it just wouldn't make sense. There's no penalties. So yeah, appreciate you guys for coming through. And until later, bye.